I made $6 million in 1 year off these hats, yo.
Woo.
Yeah. Then I'm buying these hats.
Then why did I pay for the
$3?
6 million. Now, can you make 6 million? Maybe, but I could try to help you. Boom. Hey, internet. Familia. If you don't already know, then you should know that I'm a huge fan of Chance the Rapper. For me, as an enterprising artist, as an independent artist, probably him and Ryan Leslie I put in the same category of kind of forging their own way, having high levels of interest from established record labels, just forging their own way. And the question of owning your masters in music, I mean, that's not even the thing with these two particular players in the game. They really created the example of like, let me show you the remix version of how you can completely be an independent artist and be super successful. And I love Chance the Rapper. He's real church. It just brings it to the roots. And so on multiple levels, he sings and raps. A huge fan of Chance. Having said that, I couldn't wait to share this clip with you guys, and you guys might have seen it earlier this year. He was on a podcast, and the host of the podcast like got up and was about to leave just because he was so moved or maybe shocked by what Chance said. But yes, Chance did north of 6 million with one hat, with his number 3 hat. And you know, there's a couple things that I want to take apart from this before we kind of bring it to you and how that helps you in your clothing brand or merchandise situation. But number one, I want to say, I don't think he trademarked the number 3. I don't even think you can. My lawyer people comment down below, but I don't think you can, right? But the bigger thing I want to say is, if it wasn't his main logo, you would think his main logo is something with Chance the Rapper, or maybe a C and a R, some sort of word mark, right? Or some kind of iconic use of just Chance could be another logo that he would use, right? But number 3 has a symbolic meaning for him, but it gets to this point. The logo that he used on this hat could be a logo he uses on many things, but it doesn't have to be his main logo, right? He might have a main logo that he uses for Chance the Rapper, or kind of font set or type that he always uses. But on the hat, it was number 3, and I think it was like a sentiment. It means something for him, obviously, right? And so you can use something that's actually not your main logo, but his consistent branding of it, wearing it everywhere, right? When he was wearing a hat, he was wearing one of his 3 hats. So you can see it's in different colors, etc., etc. It's almost like a commercial for it. But he's also been selling the hat in all its different colorways for quite a long time. And so keeping that in note, that means way before probably the amount of time that he's talking about, he's been selling that hat, but it's consistent branding, okay? So one, it's not his main logo. Number 2, amazing example of consistent branding. And number 3, on the technical and production side, it's like making one model or that's one design that he does in different colorways. So the factory where he produces the hats, because he says in the video he gets them done for $3, that's probably because he does it in such a mass volume. So if you go to a manufacturer, a lot of times they're gonna want you to, for hats, they're gonna say, can you do 300? They want you to do about 300 if you're going overseas, right? If you tell them I want to do 3,000, they're gonna say, oh, let me give you a whole nother quote for 3,000, because you're buying so much in bulk and keeping them in work, right? They don't need to make as much on each unit. Basic business, right? And so, can you get the hat for $3? He could probably get the hat, you know, for $225 if he ups it after that. But if you go on his website, you can see that he sells it right around $30 or up, right? So he has special editions. But I'm saying even some of those special editions, if you go back to the same factory, because they've already done it 1,000 times, even if you add an embellishment, you add like a chain stitch or you know, another 3D embroidery on the left side or right side, it's like a special edition of it, which he can do now. That factory will be more than willing to service him to do that in a smaller quantity, because they've already done business with him and they made money doing thousands of hats for him already. So one, the experience is there, they know the hat in and out, they've cut that 3 a million times, whether it's a chenille patch or it is a raised embroidery, they've done it so they know what it is. So that's more on the technical side. So what does this mean for you and your company? Can you do 6 million in a hat? You can. You can. There's a lot of iconic pieces that brands have done and then made millions of dollars from. What comes to mind for me is Von Dutch. They pretty much bastardized the trucker hat. They made so much money on it that companies had to make trucker hats in their collection, and then they pushed so much out in the market that people hated the trucker hat after. Many of you won't even remember this, but that's an example of a company that made millions of dollars on that one item and really pushed it to the brink, made it high fashion, and then it trickled all the way down, but they made a boatload of money on that. So just another example. But could you do that? You could. It's possible that you could. But first of all, you want to make sure that you put out a quality product. So in lieu of hats and talking about embroidered hats, just know on Clothing Brand Academy, I have template designs that makes it really easy for you to do a precise design for your hat, okay? So whether you are dealing with flat embroidery or raised embroidery or 3D as we call it, or bubble embroidery, it makes it easy for you to call it out on my tech packs. Also, I will be offering a custom hat version. So the ones that I have prior to this are all for blanks. So look out for the ones that are for blanks. So typically, if you're working with Yupong or FlexFit, you'll be dealing with their snapback hats or what have you, or maybe even some of their fitted hats, then the blank is a perfect template for you. But if you're going on the Chance the Rapper level and you have a very specific hat where you want everything to be custom, maybe you want the panels inside to be different colors, maybe you want the plastic snapback to be something specific, you can call that all out on a custom tech pack, and we're offering that now on Clothing Brand Academy as well. So these tech packs, just like all of them, have been developed by me, but me having led multiple multi-million-dollar brands via the art department. So being a creative director at multiple brands, so you could trust the quality. So obviously these are going to come in a vector format, so you gotta know your ones and twos with Adobe Illustrator or any other vector program that'll take the files. But you could be on your road to making your #3 hat or your marquee piece. Check out all the other products that we offer. They'll make your learning curve a lot shorter, save you a lot of time, and be very precise with what you need to communicate to your vendors, so it kind of help you that much more with your quality control. Any other questions that you have or things that you want to add to the conversation, please drop it all down below. Follow me on social media when you get a chance. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.